Earth is dying, and the last evacuation ship has one seat left. Your ticket works only one way, so where do you go? By the end of this video, we'll rank 5 possible homes and reveal where humanity could survive the longest. Not for a few hours, but long enough for a child born there to grow old. Mars seems obvious, but the closest world may be a trap, and a planet hot enough to melt lead could be one of our best options. Choose wrong, and your rescue ship becomes a coffin. So, where would you go? One rule before we choose. Every colony starts with a sealed habitat, power, food, tools, and water recyclers. After that, Earth sends nothing. We are not measuring where an astronaut survives a few extra seconds. We are asking where a child born there could actually grow old. During a late-night observing session outside Houston, one small cooling pump failed and stopped everything. We replaced it in 20 minutes because a spare was sitting nearby. On another world, that spare parts cabinet is Earth, and Earth is gone. So if a colony cannot eventually produce its own air, water, food, energy, and replacement parts, it loses. With that rule established, our first destination looks almost perfect: Europa. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, is covered in water ice. Beneath it, scientists believe there is a vast salty ocean. Water can provide drinking supplies, oxygen, fuel, and radiation shielding. So why not drill down and build a frozen bunker? Because Jupiter has turned the surface into a radiation shooting gallery. Europa moves through Jupiter's magnetic environment, where trapped particles damage cells and electronics. A surface crew would need heavy shielding immediately. Even visiting robots require special protection. Fine, we bury the colony. Problem solved, right? Not quite. The ocean may be beneath kilometers of ice. Imagine drilling through Antarctica while your equipment is hundreds of millions of miles from a hardware store. The shaft freezes behind you, and one snapped component can stop everything. Europa has almost everything we want: water, chemistry, perhaps even conditions where microscopic life could exist. But it stores those gifts behind an irradiated wall. It could become an extraordinary science base. As an emergency home, it can kill the builders before they reach the front door. Europa takes 5th place. The moon feels safe because it is familiar. Astronauts have walked there. The journey takes days, and polar ice could become water, oxygen, and fuel. Honestly, this is the option I want to win. After one long shift, I looked at a half moon over Clear Lake and thought, that is close enough to feel real. Mars is a dot. The moon is a place you can point to. But emotional distance and survival are not the same thing. The moon has virtually no atmosphere, little radiation protection, extreme temperature swings, and sharp dust that works into seals, machinery, and lungs. Build inside a lava tube and lunar soil can shield the colony, but every breath, crop, and comfortable degree still comes from a machine. Then gravity enters the room. The moon has 1/6 of Earth's gravity. Low gravity weakens bones and muscles, and we do not know whether a baby could develop normally there. A lunar base makes sense while Earth acts as its factory and hospital. Remove Earth, and the moon is merely close to a home that no longer works. The moon is excellent for the first mission and questionable for the first civilization. It takes 4th place. 3rd place goes to the world most people would never choose: Titan, Saturn's largest moon. Titan has something the moon and Mars lack: a thick, mostly nitrogen atmosphere with surface pressure around 1.5 times Earth's. It also provides radiation protection. That sounds shockingly normal. Then the temperature arrives. Titan is about -179 degrees Celsius. Water behaves like rock, while methane forms clouds, falls as rain, cuts rivers, and fills lakes. Yes, Titan has weather. It is just weather designed by a chemist with a dark sense of humor. The colony needs heated habitats and oxygen, but it is not fighting a vacuum. Nitrogen, hydrocarbons, and water ice could support agriculture, plastics, fuel, and construction. But Titan is far from the sun and hidden beneath haze. Nuclear power would not be optional. It would be the colony's heartbeat. I once stayed awake in Houston for an overseas launch. By 4 a.m., I was reheating coffee that had lost the will to live. A minor sensor paused the countdown, reminding me how many tiny systems must agree before a rocket leaves Earth. Now ask those systems to travel for years and then work forever at -179 degrees. Titan offers pressure, shielding, and resources. Lose power, and the cold wins immediately. It is better than it looks, but too distant and energy-hungry to be our best lifeboat. Titan takes third. Venus should be dead last. Its surface can melt lead, the pressure crushes machinery, and the atmosphere is carbon dioxide. If a movie hero opens a helmet there, the scene is about to become very short. But nobody said we had to live on the ground. Around 50 kilometers up, temperature and pressure move surprisingly close to Earth conditions. A habitat filled with breathable air could float in the denser carbon dioxide like a balloon, while the thick atmosphere provides radiation protection. This is the twist most people never expect. Humanity's second-best home might be a floating city above hell. Solar energy would be abundant, and the atmosphere provides carbon, oxygen, and nitrogen. Similar pressure inside and outside also means a small tear would not cause movie-style explosive decompression. I get irrationally annoyed when a movie crack sucks an entire spaceship into space. My friends know this because I pause films to explain pressure differences to people who did not ask. Venus rewards that obsession. Pressure is one problem it makes easier. Then, Venus sends the bill. Its clouds contain sulfuric acid, so every surface needs protection and maintenance. Water is scarce. Mining means sending robots into the furnace and lifting everything back into the sky. If a floating city loses buoyancy, it does not wait beside the road. It sinks into hotter air until Venus destroys it. Venus offers the most Earth-like pressure and temperature on our list, but only inside a narrow moving layer of acid clouds. Brilliant? Yes. Possible one day? Maybe. The safest final home for humanity? Not quite. Venus takes second place, so Mars wins. But let us be clear, Mars does not win because it is friendly. Mars wins because its problems are the most repairable. Its carbon dioxide atmosphere is less than 1% as dense as Earth's. Mars is cold, irradiated, and covered in equipment-damaging dust. Step outside unprotected, and your new life becomes a very brief documentary. So what does Mars offer? Accessible water ice, carbon and oxygen in the atmosphere, useful materials in its rocks, room to build, and a 24-hour, 39-minute day, close to Earth's rhythm. Its gravity is 38% of Earth's. Still a serious health unknown, but more than twice the Moon's. We do not know whether children could develop safely there. Forget the glass dome. Settlers would probably live underground beneath Martian soil. Reactors provide power, water is recycled obsessively, ice and carbon dioxide become oxygen and fuel, and crops grow in shielded rooms. It would feel less like a new planet and more like living inside a submarine buried in a freezer. Mars combines reachable resources, manageable temperatures, useful gravity, a familiar day, and enough raw material to expand. Eventually, a broken component might be manufactured locally. That is the difference between an outpost and a civilization. Our final ranking is Europa in 5th, the Moon 4th, Titan 3rd, the clouds of Venus 2nd, and Mars 1st. Mars did not win comfort, atmosphere, or radiation protection. It won the category that matters after Earth disappears, the best chance of repairing tomorrow's problem with local resources. And that is the uncomfortable truth behind the whole experiment. If Earth becomes uninhabitable, we are not choosing another paradise. We are choosing the prison with the best workshop. Every world is missing something Earth gives us free: air, warmth, water, gravity, shielding, or a self-repairing biosphere. On Mars, every breath comes from machinery, and every harvest is a small victory. So your one-way ticket is still in your hand. Earth is fading behind the ship, and 5 destinations are glowing on the screen. I would choose Mars, not because I trust Mars, but because I trust what humans can build from water, carbon, rock, and time. But what about you? Would you choose Mars, gamble on a floating city above Venus, or take your chances beneath Titan's orange sky? Put your destination in the comments and tell me the one thing you would bring from Earth if you knew you could never come back.